Hi there, and welcome to Graeme's Guide this Friday, the 8th of January 2021. Lucky number 8. So here are 3 things you may not have known about number 8. First, it was considered lucky in many Chinese cultures. The second is that it resembles the mathematical symbol for infinity. And thirdly, it's the atomic element number for oxygen. And who doesn't love oxygen? I'm sure we all do. Anyway, so there's an interesting start to our year. I just wanted to share that with you. But let's move straight on to my guidance that I want to provide you today. You will need to be watching this on a large screen because I'm going to be looking at web pages and you're not going to be able to see the detail on a small telephone screen if you're looking on your mobile phone. Oh, there's my information about number 8 again. Let's get rid of that and let's get back up to my Graeme's Guide, which today I titled A Detective Story because I'm going to show you what you need, to find the answers to what you need to put into your assignments. You do sometimes need to be a little bit of a detective. Most of the answers are right there on top. It's just a matter of trying to find them because, over the past few weeks, we've provided a lot of information and you may feel like you need to go digging to find answers. And in fact, in week 9, I'm talking about, the topic is citing and referencing, and I'm going to suggest that trying to find the answers of how to cite and how to reference different sources can be a bit of a detective story. But moving straight on, because I like to waffle, moving straight on, let's have a look at just some 3 small things that might help you with your polishing of assignment 3. The first one is I've had a lot of questions since the new year about citing, about using copyright materials. So if we go into the discussions and into, we'll go to group 31, we don't usually go there. They're all the same, by the way. So if we go into ELA updates, and I'm going to scroll down to more here. So this section here, this post here is titled Using Copyright Material, and here you'll find some answers to the questions that you've been asking me about copyright. There's this first link here takes us to Swinburne Commons. I think we'll just go in there and have a quick look at what it provides. So here it's sort of like you follow through. You've got one of these types of sources, and you want to know whether you need to, or you want to use it, and are you allowed to use it? So we'll click on. You want to put an image. Where do you want to put it? You want to put it in an essay or a report, a film, a mashup. Well, I think the presentation could be a mashup, or it could be. The presentation, the PowerPoint presentation might be considered a mashup, or it might be considered, you might want to put it in the film that you're videoing. So here it says, it gives you the answer. It says if you're using it for fair use, so if it's in a project, you don't need to ask permission or pay copyright if you meet these conditions. Okay, so that's, you can go through and like if you want to use music, it'll give you the same here for music. You want to include music in a film or video. Again, it will ask you these questions, and by following this guide, you should be able to determine whether or not you can use copyright material that's other people's artistic output in your work. Okay, so let's go back to the using copyright material. People have asked about then how do you, if you use this in your assignment 3, how do you cite or reference it? Well, in relation to the using the creative works of others, it's not so much citing or referencing, it's about giving them credit. So the way we give them credit, we'll go into this presentation. There's an example here. So I'll click on this and we'll open this up. We'll go full screen and hopefully you can see it here. So this is a Prezi that I did some time ago, and in this Prezi it shows you examples of using images in a presentation. So here's an image here, and underneath here I've given it a title. I've called it Figure 2, and then I've given it a descriptive title here. This is the name of the photograph given by this photographer, and I've also included the usage. So once you've given it a number, Figure 2, you can then create a list of figures at the end of your presentation. So let's go through to the end of this presentation, and so this is your reference list where you would put your citations to sources, but for images you use, you would create a list of figures. And here you can see that this Figure 2, it's very simple. I've just put the title of the image and where it appears on slide 4. So that's how you would give credit to an image or some other creative work that you've brought into your presentation. So that's using copyright material. Okay, the other question was, you see I've got my list of items here. My other question I was asked about a lot is citing the success profiling tool. So below this is my post about using copyright material. If we scroll below here, and this is all in the ELA updates forum, if we scroll down here, you'll get to the next post, which is citing and referencing the discussions. And if you look here, you'll see that I provide examples in both APA and in Swinburne Harvard style. So in APA style, you'll see here how to cite a learning module and how to cite the discussion board. So this learning module citation here is for the success profiling tool. It's one way of citing the success profiling tool, where you put the author, which is Swinburne Online, the year you saw it, and the location, which is in the week 2 module. How do you write this up as a full reference in your list of references? If you come down here to the full reference, you'll see here I've got the author as Swinburne Online, and the rest of the full reference is right there. So you need look no further, go into the ELA updates forum and you'll find all the information here about how to cite the success profiling tool. The citation will look like this, very similar to this, and the full reference in your list of works cited in your reference list will look like this. Okay, finally, I'll just fix this typo here that should say assignment 3 Q&A, and let's go now back to the discussions. And if you go into assignment 3 Q&A, you'll find lots of information here to help you polish your assignment 3. Recently, and when I say recently, I'll give you the exact date. If we scroll down past all of these things, which have been here for some time, you'll see that on the 29th of December, just over a week ago, I posted tips for assignment 3. And in these tips, you'll find a few interesting things that might be of use to you. For example, I've been asked questions about, do I provide an introduction slide? Well, an introduction slide is optional, and I recommend just using 2 or 3 sentences on your introduction slide, and that might be stating your name, your field of study, and just a sentence that gives the gist of your presentation, which really is about presenting you, so you can keep it fairly simple. If you scroll through this, you'll see that I've also provided advice on a conclusion. If you want to put a concluding slide as well, you can put a concluding slide, and I've said here, consider concluding on a lofty and insightful, clear and concise statement on where to from here for your future endeavors. So hopefully from these three things on my list here, I've provided you a short detective story, or showed you how to use your detective skills to find this information to help you polish your assignment 3. And that's probably well enough. I've gone for 10 minutes. Again, more than I wanted to go for, but nevertheless, I hope that you find that useful. Of course, feel free to go back and pause and rewind and take in that information that you need from this video. If you have any questions, please come and ask them in the Assignment 3 Q&A forum, where I'll be happy to provide detailed answers to all of your questions. Again, no questions are, don't consider any questions to be too low level or too high level. I'm willing to approach all questions with a very open mind. So don't be afraid to ask a question, because one of your colleagues is probably also wanting to ask that question as well. I'm getting very tongue-tied, so I think it's time to go. And from me, it's oh, by the way, congratulations for everybody who's made it this far. Over the last 6 weeks, many people have dropped out of this unit, so consider yourself one of those who have been able to stick with it through great adversity and challenges to make it to this point. Congratulations to everybody who submitted assignment 2, even though, as I've said before, those scores were not as high as you might have wanted them to be. They were on par with all of the submissions we've had since I've been doing this unit for 7 years. You were equal, if not better, to all of the submissions that I've received over the past 7 years. So even if you were not happy with your mark for assignment 2, you've done very well in the scheme of things. So anyway, for me, for now, it's bye for now.